Second topic, and it's kind of related, but how do we eradicate poverty from the planet? What would it take?
You can't. You can't push hard enough against things. There's a war against, a war against, a war against, a war against, a war against. They're all getting bigger. Because when you give your attention to it, you hold it in your vibration. So you don't eradicate anything, you just emphasize something else. Okay. It's like, how do you eradicate darkness from the room? Turn on the light. There's not a source of poverty. Poverty is pinching off the source. So you don't pinch off the pinching off the source. You open the valve, you turn on the light, you dance in the streets, you show evidence of abundance, and you point out abundance that people are living that they're not calling abundance. You call attention to the abundance that's there. Esther was saying the other day, she's been saying it quite a bit recently, because she's realizing that nobody gets her. She's really a freak. You all are. In the sense that words don't teach, it's life experience that teaches. So she has come to this awareness of life through all that she's lived, and her experience has been so broad, including the part that is us, that she stands in a place of knowing that she cannot accurately convey to anyone else. Especially on the subject of abundance, this subject has been coming up with her recently, because she hears people and she knows that what they're saying is working against them, but she can't get them to understand what she knows they must understand, because they can't see her clearly. All they do is make a comparison of where they stand and where she stands, and then they come up with a distorted conclusion that makes it worse rather than better. So Esther has been saying recently that words don't teach, that it's only life experience that teaches. And she's pretty much decided, and this is what your energy is wanting for you. She's pretty much decided that she's going to stop trying to explain anything to anybody, since words don't teach, and just teach to the clarity of her example. Because she can say, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I'd rather it's this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. And they're going to do what they want to do, regardless of what she's saying, because they're not disobeying her. They're just manifesting what's going on in their vibration. So when you decide to just give up trying to control anything, give up trying to control their behavior, give up trying to control their actions, give up trying to control their beliefs, give up trying to control their vibrational patterning, give up trying to control it, and just tune in to this source that is you. Gain the leverage that you always gain from alignment, and radiate your signal, which, if they're ready for it, they'll catch hold of. And otherwise, words don't teach. You see, you just got to know it and live it. And as you know it and live it, those who want to know and live what you know and live will gravitate to you. They will find a way. Law of attraction will show them the path, you see. So if we were talking, let's say you've gathered a group of people that have come to a prosperity seminar, and you're wanting to express to them what you know. We would say, I want you to forget everything that you think you know about where you stand in relationship to where you want to be, because I know for sure that you have a distorted view of yourself. So I don't really want to talk too much to you about where you are, because I am assuming that the fact that you're here means you want something different, and I don't want to keep beating the drum of where you are, because it will just make it harder for you to hear what's coming next. So this is a simple premise of my abundance seminar. It's everywhere. You're on a treasure hunt. It's available to you. You just haven't been looking in the right places. I'm going to show you where those places are. That's how we would approach it. And then eventually you got to get to what we talked about this morning. It's a vibrational place. It's an emotional place. It's a feeling place. Abundance is first a feeling. Without the feeling, the evidence cannot come. But once you get the feeling, then the absence of the manifestation, the sting is gone, and then the fun of watching it begin to roll in. You've experienced it. We know you have. You get on those, especially when you're new to this material. When you're new to it, your expectation is greater, you see. And when your expectation is greater, then your desire moves faster into fruition. We have a question for you.
Yeah.
What kind of abundance are you seeking for them? What richness are you wanting to guide them toward?
Good question. So what showed up was inner freedom.
Yeah. Alignment.
Yeah.
Alignment. That's the abundance that you want to guide them toward. Because if you can help them tap in to the stream that provides everything.
Yeah.
We think sometimes that the subject of financial abundance is the hardest subject to start with, because it's the subject that is showing you evidence all day, every day. So if you could start with something easier. Can you think of anything?
I mean, from your teachings, appreciation and gratitude are the ways that I get instant prosperity and abundance in my field.
Yeah, but that's so boring. When you need money and you've come to abundance seminar and somebody starts babbling about appreciation.
All right. So for me, it's like puppies and kids and being around the ocean. I mean, that's
Yeah. We agree with you, but we're talking about how can you convey to someone that they are the vibrational basis of what comes to them? Do you think that most people that you come into contact with have had, Esther was offering this description to someone the other day. Jerry and Esther spent a good deal of time, especially one long summer, on a raft floating down a river in Montana. And the river was not a really fast-moving river. It wasn't a white water experience. It was a pretty fast-moving stream. But sometimes they'd get into a part of the stream that was barely moving. And they could maybe even sit there for a while if they wanted to. And then they would paddle out to a faster moving part of the stream, and off they'd go. And they could, just by paying attention, they could see the current where it was. And so they could adjust their ride on the river to something that was slower or something that was faster, just because as the river was wider or narrower, and there were even currents within the stream that they couldn't see the reason for, but it was because of the width or the narrowness of what was beneath the surface of the water. And so it's like that in your experience, isn't it? In your financial experience, in your money experience, that sometimes the stream moves a little faster and sometimes it moves slower. So do you think you could get them to focus on some of that faster moving? Do you remember a time in your life when you felt freer about dollars, and what did that feel like? And then get them to ponder that, get them to think about that, and a lot of times they will say to you, I had far less, but I felt far freer. They will say to you, I didn't have the debt that I have, I didn't have the assets that I have, but I just felt freer. My money felt good in my pocket. The subject of, do you remember a time when money didn't worry you? Do you remember a time when the money thrilled you? Do you remember the silver coin in the toe of your stocking? Or do you remember when someone, usually grandmother or some friend, sent you $1 for your birthday? Do you remember? Do you remember when something came to you unexpected, and do you remember how rich you felt and how many times you spent it and how good it was to put it in your wallet? Do you remember those feelings? Those are the feelings that you want to activate within them. Those are the feelings that you want to activate within yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, part of the program is also interviewing prosperity and abundance teachers. Would you be willing to be interviewed by me?
We have no money.
It's not about money.
Oh, it's not about money.
It's not. You know, prosperity and abundance is not about money.
Oh, so it's not about money. So,
and it doesn't exclude money, but it's not all about money. It's just a piece of the pie.
But what are the people that are gathering expecting?
What are they expecting? That's a good question. I think whatever associations they bring into the conversation, but for a lot of them, it probably is money.
Well, if we were standing in your physical shoes, that's where we would begin.
Okay.
Because you have to decide what we're out of time here. We don't have an abundance of time here. We do, just not right now. When you identify what it is that you want to convey to them, and that's the part that we were wanting to activate within you. What is it that you want them? You want them to leave the conversation that you've experienced with them feeling freer about money. So let's just see, because they've been listening in. Do you feel more abundant now than you did when you sat down? Do you feel more eager about what is coming to you? Do you feel less tied to the dollar aspect of it than you did? Is it easier for you to accept that there's abundance around you that you may not have been noticing? Do you feel sort of enlivened to go focus on some of that to see if you can move some energy within yourself? Do you want to positively uplift your own point of attraction? Do you believe that when abundance begins flowing to you, it will come in all forms? Do you believe that it will come in the form of conversation and clarity and energy and vitality and dollars? Good time for a segment of refreshment.